Got any cheese to go with that wine? Okay, that was super cheesy. My wife laughed at me when she saw me write it. But the story of Jesus turning water into wine in John 2 is not, nor is its application to your life. It's all about trusting God's timing and His glory. Hi, my name's Casey. I'm a former pastor with over 20 years experience in the ministry and or in training for such. I have a bachelor's and a master's in biblical studies, and I want to teach you how to read, study, interpret, and apply the Bible. John 2, 1 through 11 reads, On the third day there was a wedding at Cana in Galilee, and the mother of Jesus was there. Jesus also was invited to the wedding with his disciples. When the wine ran out, the mother of Jesus said to him, They have no wine. Jesus said to her, Woman, what does this have to do with me? My hour has not yet come. His mother said to the servants, Do whatever he tells you. Jesus said to the servants, Fill the jars with water. Now, jumping ahead, we know the water turned to wine. The host of the feast was blown away because they had saved the best wine for last. We know the story. This was the first of Jesus' signs Jesus did at Cana in Galilee, manifested his glory, and his disciples believed in him. That's important. The wedding at Cana is a beautiful moment in Scripture where Jesus performs his first miracle, turning water into wine. Yet his response to Mary's request, Woman, what does this have to do with me? My hour has not yet come, raises questions. What did Jesus mean by that, and why did he act despite this statement? As we unpack this passage, we see a profound display of Jesus' divine authority, his submission to God's will, and his desire to strengthen the faith of those who follow him. When Jesus said, My hour has not yet come, he was referring to the appointed time for his death, resurrection, and exaltation, the climactic hour of his mission, John 12:23. Early in his ministry, it wasn't yet time for the public revelation that would lead to the cross. His response to Mary calling her woman and gently questioning her request wasn't harsh, but a reminder that his actions were governed by God's timetable, not human expectations, even those of his mother. Yet Jesus chose to act, turning water into an abundance of wine, about 150 gallons, revealing his glory in a quiet, purposeful way. Why did he perform the miracle despite his words? Well, Jesus acted to manifest his glory to his disciples, not the crowd, as John 2:11 tells us, and his disciples believed in him. The miracle was discreet, known only to the servants and his followers, avoiding premature public attention that could have rushed him toward the cross. It was an act of obedience to God's will, showing that Jesus' power flows from his divine purpose, not human demands. Even Mary's request, rooted in concern for the hosts, was answered in a way that pointed to God's greater plan, teaching us that faith in Jesus, not earthly ties, brings us into his favor. Luke 11:27 through 28. This miracle also carries deep symbolism. The water used for Jewish purification rites became wine, a sign of joy and abundance in the new covenant. You see that in Psalm 104, verse 15, and Isaiah 25, verse 6. Jesus was signaling the arrival of God's kingdom where he provides far beyond our needs, transforming the ordinary into the extraordinary. As Christians, we often face moments when we, like Mary, bring our needs to Jesus, only to feel he's delayed or unresponsive. The wedding at Cana reminds us that Jesus operates on God's perfect timing, not ours. His hour is part of a divine plan far greater than our immediate concerns. When he seems to pause, it's not indifference but purpose. He's working to reveal his glory in a way that strengthens our faith and aligns with his will. Notice how Mary responded. She didn't argue but trusted, telling the servants, Do whatever he tells you. This is a model for us. When we bring our requests to Jesus, we must trust his wisdom and timing, obeying his guidance even when the answer isn't immediate. The result may be more glorious than we expect. Perhaps not water into wine, but our trials can become powerful testimonies to his power. The Cana miracle also encourages us to see Jesus as the source of true joy. The abundance of wine points to the overflowing grace that he offers. In our spiritual dryness or daily struggles, Jesus can transform our lack into abundance if we trust him. His glory, revealed in his perfect timing, deepens our faith, just as it did for the disciples. Dear Christian, are you waiting on Jesus to act in a situation that feels urgent? Take heart from Cana. Jesus hears your prayers, but he works according to his plan and his will, often in ways that we can't see. Trust that his delays are purposeful, designed to reveal his glory and strengthen your faith. Like the disciples, let each glimpse of his power draw you closer to him, believing he is who he says he is, the Son of God who provides abundantly. When you feel stuck, follow Mary's example. Present your need to Jesus and obey what he tells you. His response may surprise you, exceeding your expectations and pointing others to his glory. Rest in the truth that Jesus is the bridegroom of the new covenant, bringing joy that never runs dry. Let this miracle inspire you to trust his timing, obey his voice, and rejoice in his provision. A closing thought: as you walk with Jesus, remember the wedding at Cana. Even when his timing feels mysterious, his glory is sure. Trust him to transform your moments of lack into displays of his abundance, and let your faith grow as you see him work in his perfect way. Drop your questions and thoughts in the comments. Also be sure to like, share, and to follow.